The reception is a fundamental factor for organization of the game of every single volleyball team. Let's hear the opinion of Karch Kiraly, a pure volleyball legend and currently US Women's National Volleyball Team head coach, about the basics of reception.
Passing with three. Interesting little look here where Reed is trying to give him one look and then jumps back to more closely to where he expects the ball to go. So he's standing there and then moves out of the way. That's all something that the passers have talked about beforehand. And even on this one, Reed starts way over by the sideline, and maybe he's just trying to see the server. You got a little bit of a screen going there too, and then jumps back into position. This is one of the harder servers for the Russians, is just to give the server a little different look. The opposite here, Stanley, jumps into the formation, which he did often when he was in right front and when he's in right back. It's a pretty convenient spot to do. But one of the things it does is it just gives the server a little less seams to hit. It gives the server a different look.
Stanley was not a decent receiver, but nowadays some teams use an opposite who is also fine in reception in order to receive with 4 people. For example, USA receives with 4 in rotation 5, rotation 4 and rotation 1. Russia with Maxim Mikhailov also receives with 4 in several rotations.
The standard 3-passer system that we use, in our gym anyway, we have some designated responsibilities. When the server is in zone 1 here, or the server is in zone 6, is because generally our setter is standing over here, and these players have to take the ball from their left and get it to their right. It's a little easier for them to reach left. So a ball that's in the exact seam here will be taken by the player who gets to reach left. It's a little easier of an angle to make to reach left and then take the ball to the right here. Some of you might have heard the cute term that left is right and right is wrong. I try not to use that in our gyms. Now it might change, because if we have Stacy Sakura, who's a very strong libero, and Logan Tom in these 2 spots, maybe they're taking 40%, and maybe our other front row outside's taking 20%. So maybe they change the seams at that point. But this is a starting point, and they work from that. Now when the server is over here in 5, we change our base responsibility, all things being exactly equal. And that is because now this player, it's actually easier, especially for this player, and servers often go down this line, to reach a little right to make an angle to go to put the ball on the spot of where our setter ideally would like to take it. But again, those can change based on where the libero is. Maybe if the libero is here, she's taking this seam and this seam, or he, depending on what team you're talking about. A team that receives serve well takes 3 things. It takes a pretty decent system. You also need players who are pretty good mechanically at this skill. But I think the one thing that you also need is the ability to see and read the game.